What's up, guys? Well, it's another start to a video, I believe. And it's a little rainy outside, so it's crazy that thing's sitting outside. It never does. But I got that thing all ready for Tanner Cross next weekend. Now it needs a wash anyways, so I just have it outside. Guarantee it's getting wet inside as well. But we don't worry about that. We got the Celica Supra in the garage and Boost. But I'm gonna start playing with some things. As you can see, the door hinges are shot. So, and since the fenders are bad, well, beat up, I'm gonna take the fenders off and pound it with some 2x4s, probably. And I mean, it's not gonna look good, but it's gonna look not as bad, maybe. It doesn't, to me right now, it doesn't really matter if I pound it with a 2x4 because it's already beat up. Like, what's it gonna be if it's more beat up? Or more or less? I don't know. We'll see what it looks like after some smacks. But anyways, as I was saying, since these, I'm gonna pull these off anyways, I'm just gonna do the door hinges while the fender's off, and that way I could kind of keep it latched and not have to try and hold the door and take it off by myself. And we'll see how that works out. But also I gotta get into here, and that grinding never went away, and as you can see, it's making marks on the rotor. I do have a big order of parts coming in for this thing. The brake lines, like we looked at last time, I got rear brakes coming. I don't even remember what else, just a few odds and ends. But yeah, I think I'll set this camera up and start taking the front end off. Oh, another thing I want to do is the windshield wiper motor just kind of clicks when you're on and off. So I might pull that and then take it apart, see if I could like free up that motor, or see if like contacts or brushes just need cleaned up or something. Not really sure what I'm gonna find inside that, but let's get after it. Whatever they stuck these fenders on with, good stuff. That was a little bit of a struggle. But now we can see the door hinges are just right here. So I'm gonna see if I can pop this top one off without disturbing it too much, and then show you guys what I gotta do to fit some different hinges in there, and I'll tell you kind of what the hinges I'm putting on are off of, or the pins and bushings. But look at all the dirt that was behind there. But also it's pretty nice that this didn't seem to get damaged when the front end got crunched. So still looking good bones wise. I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but maybe if you listen real close, those bushings are toast. So let me grab the stuff I bought. So I have 2 bushing and pin kits, and the way I found these was looking at Mark II forums, because let's be real, not a whole lot of people are doing stuff to the Mark I. But yeah, so I found that Forerunner bushings work pretty well, and then I also found that these Nissan bushings work pretty well. So first step is going to be getting these old pins out. I'm going to go ahead and just mark everything. I'm sure it all goes back together, very obvious. But I mean, might as well make it more obvious. I'm gonna put that pointed up, that pointed up, and then that way I know the direction things kind of go. Now we gotta get this old pin out. So for getting the little nub off the end of the pin here, I think I'm going to just put a little X, a little cross in it with the cutoff wheel. And then I should be able to use a chisel and pop that off basically. And then the pin will then slide out. The nice thing about the new pins is they actually are threaded with a nut. So you don't have to worry about any of what we're about to have to take care of right here. So as you can see, I just kind of pop. I got a little too deep, but that's not going to be an issue. So now I realize I don't have any chisel bits, I don't think. Okay, I do have a chisel for the air hammer. It's going to be way overkill. But it should pop apart really easy, so I'm not too worried about bending the hinge or anything weird like that. But now if we come in, we can just kind of square it away. Did I bend it already? Oh, son of a... Okay, so these bend really easy. I might actually bolt this back to the car and then pound that out. So now hopefully it stays a little stronger and I can keep trying to pound this pin out. That really does not want to come out. I didn't anticipate this, honestly. Alright, the pin finally popped out. I might have bent this all up a little bit, but we'll be able to get that straight without much issue. Alright, so now that the pin's out, you can see these bushings are just hammered. That one's actually even missing part of it. You can also see where I kind of bent it. I don't know if you can really see that, but obviously I did bend it because I was pounding on it like a monkey. But we'll get these old bushings out. Just like so. Oh, yeah, these bushings are junk. Who would have thought on a car this old? Not me. Nope. Some of you might be watching saying, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And you're right. I don't. But I'm figuring it out as I go. So now, the thing about these pin kits and bushings is the pins are basically the same from what internet tells me. Yeah, they're close to the same length, about the same diameter. The only thing is these bushings are a lot bigger around, much more bigger around than these. They have a bigger outer diameter, they're a thicker bushing. So what they say you have to do is drill these out to be able to pop these bushings in. Well, actually, obviously, drill this part out to pop these bushings in. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is open the holes up in this piece of the hinge here. So that way the new bushings will pop in. Alright, so those are sized up. Let's see what we got with this bushing set. This is the Toyota one for like 400 in Tacoma. And that bushing needs a little bit bigger hole. But they say the next size up drill bit will make it too loose. But this Nissan kit, someone was saying the 2064th bit Makes these press right in without having to ream the hole any extra. And that seems to be truth, actually. So I might actually just look for another one of these Nissan kits. At the same time, I probably won't. And I'll probably just make that Toyota one work. So now the trick is you want to support this side while you press in that. And I think the way I'm going to do that... Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, that actually worked well. I just opened the vise enough to where this would fit through, but the hinge piece doesn't. So it'll support it as I pound the hinge, or the bushing in, without bending the hinge. Boom, just like that, new bushings are in. So now, this pin goes through. And we tighten this nut and we press in that, what do they call it? A little like serrated edge? I don't really know. Oh. Well, that's not ideal. I just bent it in an unfortunate spot. So there we go, that's straightened out. I still have more to press here. So now I gotta figure out, since I just bent it, how to do it without bending it again. I think that did it. Now we just tighten the nut on the bottom. It's a little too tight, so we'll loosen it a little bit. There we go, that moves pretty good. A lot less play. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So now I'm gonna pop this top hinge back on the car. Oh, well that might be a slight issue. Pin sticks out to where the bolt goes in. Might have to start that first. Alright, so yeah, I just started the bolt in there and then snugged it up. So everything's gonna work alright. So now since that one is covered by the bolt, obviously I have to run it in with just the open end of a wrench. That's not a big deal. Since I started it so much by hand earlier, it's not going to take much. It's pretty much snug now. Well, it's better, but it still doesn't latch all the way. I think that's a latch issue. I'm not sure if there's some kind of adjustment for that, but let's do the bottom hinge the exact same way I just did the top, and then we'll look at it and kind of see how it's looking. Alright, I think I learned from the first one that a better way of doing this is just cutting the pin in half. We're going to try that way, and I'll let you know if it works better. May not have done us any good. So I'm not a body guy. I have to deal with stupid crap like this. And I know it. I don't envy them. But I could always try with the air hammer. Bend it up a bit more. All right, so that started the bottom out. Should be able to just, or I guess on this side is the top, but. So there's that guy. Now we got to get the actual press side out, which is going to be a little bit of a bummer. All right, that actually worked. I didn't even smash my finger like I thought I was going to. All right, the pin is out. So that's another way to do it, I guess. Either way, it's gonna be difficult. Now I'm gonna do the bushings and put it back on. You guys already know how I'm gonna do that. All right, so I've been playing with it, adjusting it, and as you can see now, the body or the paint lines line up really well as the body lines. But the issue now is that it's hitting the bottom of the hook. I don't know if you guys can see. Right there. The bottom of the opening hits the bottom of the hook. And that's just because this door has been sagging for so long. If you look, we actually have a gap back here, and this thing has been beat down. So we're gonna see if we can loosen these and adjust this, or we might be grabbing just a dead blow and trying to bend it back. All right, with a little bit of impact driver and pry bar action, it closes and lines up pretty good. We still have the problem of it not fully latching. So I would imagine that's gonna have to be a problem in here. And I'm not really sure how to fix that. Actually, it still does kind of look like this is bent out, but I don't think bending it in will have enough effect. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, and I'll let you guys know if anything I do fixes it. All right, so I think most of what I have to do here is loosen up the hinges where they go on the door, and then kind of twist it out since I have a bigger gap here and a tighter gap here. Hopefully I can get it to just kind of make it look even. But for now, I got a moving blanket laid out. I've got my blocks of wood here. I'm gonna lay one behind here and then try and pound this guy out. All right, so obviously it looks like someone beat on it with a 2x4 and a hammer. And I nailed myself. I don't know if you could see how swollen it is by that black mark. Nice. But yeah, obviously it doesn't look good, but I do think it looks better. So I think it's time to throw that back on the, or wait, no, let me adjust this. And then I'll throw that back on the car. We'll see what kind of difference it made. All right, really that's about as much adjustment as I'm gonna get out of the hinges. It did kind of even up the gap, top to bottom. Still a little bit more gap at the bottom. But I think once I figure out how to get it to close all the way, I think it'll be good. But really, it's already looking way better than it was. So now, I'm just gonna pop the fender on real quick, and we'll see how that looks. Did I do that with the wrong hand? Alright, fender's on. And, I mean, obviously it's not good, but it is better. I'm kind of happy with it. It's pretty good from, I don't know, probably 50 feet away, maybe 50 yards. Opinion. I don't know. Everyone else is probably going to be like, why'd you pound it out? It looks like crap. You got all these marks. Who cares? It's a 45-year-old beater. But it is nice that the, oh, those are kind of not lining up anymore. But the lines back there are lined up. So it already looks much straighter. And I'm happy with that. So now I get to do it all again on the other side, because those hinge pins, bushings are bad as well. So also, this fender's not as bad. It just has this one wall up right here. So while it's off, might as well try and pop that out, you know? But I think I'd be able to fit a quarter light in here now. I mean, obviously I'd have to do some engineering there to get it to mount, but should probably get this headlight to fit proper again one day, because I'm gonna need that angled right. Alright, I got the hinge pins and bushings done on this side. I smacked out that wall up a little bit. It's wrinkly, obviously. But yeah, this door actually turned out very nice. It closes solid. But what I noticed doing that one is that the latch here actually slides in when you loosen these, so I was able to slide that in a little bit. This side's still not as tight as the other, but way better. Big difference in how this car used to look. So now, next step is going to be figure out what I could do for the wipers real quick. So I'll pull this panel off. I think I need to get that off to see how this all connects, but I'll fill you guys in as I find what I'm doing here. All right, so not too bad. The rod just pops off this ball here. Oh, rod just pops off this ball here, and then the whole thing comes out with those 4 bolts, obviously. So now I'm gonna pop this cover off, and then I'm gonna pop this cover off and see if I can find any corrosion or anything that's stopping it. Alright, well there's a little bit of corrosion in here, but it's not like anything that would stop it from working. It seems like all the brushes are making good contact. One of them is a little wore out, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. They seem to be contacting where they're supposed to. So I'm not really sure what's going on with this thing. I'm not very good at it, all this electrical stuff, but I mean, I guess I could take more of this apart, see if there's something holding it up in here, because you can hear it. It tries. It goes almost like it really is stuck. So I guess I'll keep pulling it apart, and then obviously I'll clean all this up before it goes back together, but so far nothing obvious. I'm not sure if it's completely the reason, but that little ball, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be on the bottom of this. Because right now you can push this down to where it actually catches the little cage on the thing. Right now it's not doing it. But I think that ball has come out of place right there. That's just floating there. So let me try and put that in and see what happens. Don't mind the wiring mess. I'm still figuring things out. But turns out the Mark III windshield wiper motor bolts in and the rods connect exactly the same. Obviously just wiring has changed. So right now, the wipers don't want to find park position. I just have low speed and high speed, and I have to stop it in the right spot. So like this would be my intermittent. It doesn't make much sense. It kind of goes up, stops, goes halfway down, stops. Then it'll go there. But low speed is pretty normal. High speed, also normal. Like I said, I just have to stop it in the right spot because it doesn't actually go to park. So I'll figure out that wiring eventually, probably, maybe. But for now, at least I have wipers, and I'm gonna call it a night because it's late. I'll come out tomorrow and play with this more and show you guys what I see. All right, well, it's the next day, as I promised. Had some bummer news though. Santa Claus is canceled next weekend because of the smoke and the fires. There's tons of fires up here right now. So no Santa Claus next week. There's talks of a North Pole drift event happening. So maybe I'll still get to drift the car up north next week, but for now, we're back on the Celica Supra. I think first thing I'm gonna do today is take off this rear wheel and see what's going on with the brake. Let's get into it. Yeah, well, that'll do it. That outside pad is metal to metal. When I looked at it the first time, I swore I saw pad, but I guess not. I do have rear brakes coming, so not the end of the world. Another thing I wanted to check out while it's in the air is I get a shake, a drivetrain type shake on and off throttle at about 50. So I came in here to check the carrier bearing. It is blown out. There ain't no carrier bearing left. So I need to replace that. That's a bummer, but not the end of the world. We'll get it taken care of. Well, that's not all actually, because back here, if you look, see if I can get, oh, you can kind of see just right there, but these rear U-joints are toast as well. So rearmost U-joint and carrier bearing. Might just do all the U-joints while I'm in here. Hopefully you can find these carrier bearings. I haven't looked. Alright, well the spring's in. I think this is gonna lift it. I just kind of put the rear axle up off the jack stands and it sits really high. So we might do a little cutty. We'll see. I'll set it down before I make any decisions, obviously. But some of you probably noticed I took the rear brake off this side. Kind of seems counterintuitive since I don't have pads or anything. But I did that because I'm going to pull these axles so I can pull that third member and inspect it. So I'm going to pull it out, inspect it. And then throw it back in with new fluid just so that's all done. Some of you might say I'm doing stupid stuff, and I am. You might say I'm ruining this car, maybe.